What's up, folks? This is BG
and K Bella
from RTB. How everybody doing today? Today we're going to be talking about a touchy topic.
Polygyny.
All right. Many people talk about this. Many people support it, and many people don't support it. Here at RTB,
We do not support that.
We are not advocates of that type of act. Okay, Bella is about to talk to you about the three different terms that comes out of polygamy.
Okay, so the first one will be polygamy, which is the marriage in which a spouse of either sex may have more than one mate at a time.
Okay, so that's the overall broad category of what we're talking about.
Then it's broken down from men to women, and for men it's called polygyny, and that's the stated practice of having more than one wife or mate at a time. Polygamy is the stated practice of having more than one husband or male mate at one time.
This video we will be focusing on polygamy. All right, so here go the presentation.
Genesis 2:18, 21 through 24. And Yahuwah Elohim said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him as his counterpart." So Yahuwah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall on the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. And the rib which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from the man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And the man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one is called woman, because she has taken out of man. For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." Matthew 19:3 through 6. And the Pharisees came to him, trying him, and saying to him, "Is it right for a man to put away his wife for every reason?" And he answering said to them, "Did you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So that they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what Elohim has joined together, let no man separate."
All right, folks. So these are two of the reasons why we do not support polygamy. In the Old Testament, it says, "Man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife and become one flesh." All right, man, woman, that's singular. All right, and also Yahushua in the New Testament reiterated that a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife to become one flesh, and let no man separate what y'all put together. This is a reason why we don't support it. I heard a lady named B Jackson on YouTube talking about it, and even though it happened, she said it was not the perfect will of the Most High, but a permissive will, which we will go into. But from the Old Testament to the New Testament, it basically says we should only have a man should only have one wife, and a wife should only have one husband. So let's continue on with our presentation. All right, folks. Next, we're going to be talking about Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar. We're going to be coming out of Genesis 16, verses 1 through 6.
And Sarah, Abram's wife, had borne him no child, and she had a Mizraite female servant whose name was Hagar. And Sarah said to Abram, "See, Yahuwah has kept me from bearing children. Please go into my female servant. It might be that I am built up by her." and Abram listened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her female servant, the Mizraite, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. After Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and he went into Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said to Abram, My wrong be upon you. I gave my female servant into your bosom, and when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. Let Yahuwah judge between you and me. And Abram said to Sarai, See, your female servant is in your hand. Do to her what is good in your eyes. And Sarai treated her harshly, and she fled from her presence.
Okay, folks, so from the Hebrew standpoint, since Abraham was the first Hebrew, the woman, Sarah, she brought upon
His imperfect will.
she brought upon polygyny upon Abraham, all right? And then when Hagar conceived, Sarah got jealous, all right?
And that's what happens. The jealousy is going to come into play. Also, how can you be a threefold cord with an extra person? Because it's supposed to be you, your husband, and the Most High.
Yep. So right here, and the thing about it is that, see, a lot of men like to go out and search out these different wives. All right. If you look at the Bible, these Hebrew men, they didn't really search out another wife. Abraham was in love with Sarah. He didn't even, I don't even believe he desired to be with Hagar. But since Sarah wanted to have a seed, she gave him her female servant. All right. So he had sex with her and she got pregnant, and Sarah became jealous. All right. That's one of the issues of a relationship that involves polygamy. Now let's check out some other verses talking about Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar.
Genesis 21, 9 through 11. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Mizraite, whom she had borne to Abraham, mocking. So she said to Abraham, Drive out this female servant and her son, for the son of this female servant shall not inherit with my son Ishak. And the matter was very evil in the eyes of Abraham, because of his son.
Okay, people, so right here, now after Sarah saw that, after Ishmael was born, Sarah again got jealous and wanted Abraham to drive them out from the camp. All right. So again, Sarah gets jealous and she treats Hagar bad. And eventually, Hagar gets sent away and almost saw her son die. You know, but they survived anyway. What I'm trying to say is that jealousy comes out of these type of relationships.
Yeah, and cause for Hagar to have to flee because of Yitzhak being born, and the lady not wanting to share his inheritance with Ishmael.
So again, this is another reason why we do not advocate polygamy. All right, that's the main reason why there's a lot of drama in it.
And also in the Bible it states that no matter what, if he loved Sarah more than he loved Hagar, the firstborn child gets a double portion, regardless.
All right, so let's go on to the next.
Okay, we're going to tell a little backstory about the whole Rachel, Leah, and Jacob situation. Because when Jacob first came to Laban, he really fell in love with Rachel. However, Leah was the older sister, and in the Bible they go on tradition and law, and the first daughter had to be married before the youngest daughter, and that's how this all came into play with Leah and Rachel being married to Jacob, because he was tricked by Laban to marry the firstborn daughter when in actuality he wanted to marry the second daughter. That's why he had to work 7 years, because he came there with nothing. He had to pay a dowry for those daughters. Back in the day, they had to pay silver to the fathers or to the families to marry the daughters, and that's the dowry that he had to pay. So that's why he worked 14 years for the 2 wives, because that was the dowry that he paid.
Yep.
And that created a situation, a polygynous situation, with him being married to Leah and Rachel, 2 sisters.
Okay, so this relationship came out of trickery.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Yah let it be, he let it be, and great tribes came out of these women. But a man and a woman is the perfect will, not a man and multiple women. All right.
And also, this is where you see why they say women are to be silent, because these ladies are orchestrating all of this that is about to go on with Jacob, Leah, and Rachel. Genesis 30:1 through 24. And when Rael saw that she bore Jacob no children, Rael envied her sister and said to Jacob, "Give me children, or else I am going to die." And Jacob's displeasure burned against Rael, and he said, "Am I in the place of Elohim, who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb?" And she said, "See, my female servant Bilhah, go into her, and let her bear from me, and let me be built up from her as well." So she gave him Bilhah, her female servant, as wife. And Jacob went into her, and Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. And Rael said, "Elohim has rightly ruled my case, and has also heard my voice, and given me a son." So she called his name Dan. And Rael's female servant Bilhah conceived again, and bore Jacob a second son. And Rael said, "With great wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister, and I have overcome." So she called his name Naphtali.
Okay, folks, so now this is where the competition between Rachel and Leah starts. All right. Since Rachel was barren, she gave Jacob Bilhah as a wife. So at that point, excuse me, Jacob is married to 3 different women, for the simple fact that Rachel was not producing at that time. All right. So now she felt like that she is on par with her sister. But as we continue on with these verses, we see that Leah is in on it too.
And Leah saw that she had ceased bearing, and she took Zilpah, her female servant, and gave her to Jacob as wife. And Leah's female servant Zilpah bore Jacob a son. And Leah said, "With Gad," so she called his name Gad. And Leah's female servant Zilpah bore Jacob a second son. And Leah said, "I am blessed, for the daughter shall call me blessed." So she called his name Asher.
All right, now Leah, since she's barren, she wants to give Jacob her servant Zilpah. All right. So now Jacob is married to 4 women, and again, it's a competition. All right. Women is the one that's causing these type of relationships. All right.
Forcing upon the husband that 2, 3 different other women, when in all actuality he just wants one wife, but he's trying to make everybody happy. And who is he to not sleep with 4 women?
Yeah, but as you see, it wasn't really the man that set up these type of relationships. It was the woman. All right. It was
initiating it.
Yeah, it was the woman initiated. So from his 2 wives, he got 2 more wives because of the jealousy of his 2 wives. All right.
And now he's got 4 baby mamas.
Yeah, 4 baby mamas. All right, now let's go on to the next verse.
And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found love apples, mandrakes in the field, and brought them to his mother Leah. And Rael said to Leah, "Please give me some of your son's love apples." But she said to her, Is it a small matter that you have taken away my husband? Would you take away my son's love apples too? And Rael said, therefore let him lie with you tonight for your son's love apples. And when Jacob came out of the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, do come into me, for indeed I have hired you with my son's love apples. And he lay with her that night. Okay, now this is crazy. This is where Leah and Rachel are basically prostituting Jacob for Leah to be able to sleep with him. So she's gonna ask, hey Leah, let me get some of those mandrakes, because mandrakes, they kind of like, they get you high. And so Rachel wanted some. So she proposed to Leah that she would allow her to sleep with Jacob if in fact she would give her some of the love apples. And that's how that was issued.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy though, because Leah was like, first she took away my husband, now my son's love apples or mandrakes. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's some animosity in those words and stuff. So Rachel wanting to get high that bad, whatever she wanting to do with it, she
sold Jacob.
Yeah, sold Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And Leah didn't have no mind, and she had no mind. She didn't care. Hey, Jacob, look, I purchased your time. So it's time for us to get busy. You know what I'm saying? But this is an issue. Too much jealousy is going on. Too much sibling rivalry is going on.
And confusion.
And
God's not the author of confusion.
He is not. And I bet you Jacob went through a whole lot of drama. But all right, now let's go on to the next section.
First Kings 11:1-3. And sovereign Shalomo loved many foreign women in addition to the daughter of Pharaoh, Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, Sidonian, and Hittite women, from the nations of whom Yahuwah had said to the children of Israel, you do not go into them, and they do not go into you, for they shall certainly turn away your hearts after their mighty ones. Shalomo clung to these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Now the issue with Solomon was that he was not supposed to intermarry with anyone, because in Deuteronomy 7 it tells you that it turns you away from the Most High.
And see, Solomon had all these wives, and then when he turned old, they turned him away from the Most High. He put up statues and worship place for them in the land, and just did all types of abominable things that was against the Most High because of his many wives, because of the type of relationships that he was in. You really have to be careful, because that wife that you love the most might be the one that's going to turn you away from the Most High. One man for one woman for one man. All right, now let's go to the next section. Okay, folks, now these next New Testament verses shows you that as a man of the Most High, that you should only have one wife. All right, so let's get into it.
1 Timothy 3:2. An overseer, bishop, then should be blameless, the husband of one wife, sober, sensible, orderly, kind to strangers, able to teach. 1 Timothy 3:12. Let attendants, deacons, be the husbands of only one wife, ruling children in their houses well. Titus 1:5-6. The reason I left you in Crete was that you should straighten out what was left undone, and appoint elders in every city as I commanded you. If anyone is unreprovable, the husband of one wife, having believing children, not accused of loose behavior or unruly.
Now, according to First Timothy and Titus, people that has I guess positions such as elders, deacons, and bishops should only have one wife. Um, Many people that's out there that's supporting having many wives are calling themselves elders or deacons or bishops and everything, and that is not to be. But just that this is just a reason as a teacher of the Most High, as a follower of the Most High. We believe that you should just have one wife, one husband. All right. So let's go to the next verse.
1 Corinthians 7, 1 through 3. And concerning the matters you wrote to me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. But because of whoring, let each one having his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Let the husband render to his wife what is her due, and likewise also the wife to her husband. Now, in this verse, it's telling you that if you can't withhold from your flesh, then yes, marry. And that's what Yah would rather us be alone and focus on Him, but He knows that our flesh is weak. So He says, hey, if you're going to end up whoring or fornicating, you might as well be married to one person and then honor me together. And that's what this verse represents, that, hey, you can be by yourself and honor the Most High. That's what He would want us to be, is by ourselves and honor Him. However, because the flesh is weak, He would like for us to take up a husband if we're a woman, or a wife, one wife if you're a man, so that you won't burn in hell for fornicating.
Yep. So yeah, this is basically these verses throughout the whole Bible is the reason why we do not advocate monogamy or
Polygyny.
I'll be messing that word up. But yeah, but these are the verses, the reason why we do not support it. I know some people might support it. You do what you want to do, but no.
Just know it's not the perfect will of the Most High.
In the beginning, He made man and woman, just those two. The New Testament, Yahushua, He repeated the same verse as in Genesis, as the man should leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and they should become one. It doesn't say anything about a man leaving his mother and father and becoming one with 5 different women.
And the Most High would have took 2 ribs out and created 2 women if that was the case, if He wanted him to have 2 helpmeets.
So these are the reasons, again, like I said, why we do not advocate it. It's a lot of energy also that you got to put out dealing with these different women and everything. And look, if you're a man, just have one wife. If you're a woman, have one husband, and that should be good. All right, it's a threefold cord, like we said earlier. It's the husband, the wife, and the Most High. So you got anything else to add?
No.
All right, well, again, this is our presentation and the reason why we do not support
polygyny.
And hope y'all learn from it. If you agree with it, let us know. If you don't, let us know. No
comment, subscribe, like.
No fight, no fuss. This is what we believe and think. So y'all take it easy.
Share.
Yeah, and share. This is BG
and K Bella.
Rakuf.
Shalom.